Remembering the tragic death of Mufasa is one of the most emotional scenes in Disney's history. But another is no less significant. When Simba, lost and confused, sees his father in a dream years later in the sky. Mufasa tells him, "You have forgotten who you are." It is a moment of epiphany, but for all its power it raises a strange question. Why did Mufasa come only then? Why not earlier? Why not when Simba was starving to death in the desert? Why not when he lay hugging his father's body and shouting, "Daddy, get up!" Where was Mufasa's spirit then? Canon, what we know about the spirits of angels. In the Lion King universe, the spirits of dead ancestors exist. Mufasa's appearance and Rafiki's lines, "He lives in you," confirm this. The magic of spirits is part of the African mythological context on which the movie draws. Moreover, Mufasa reappears in the sequel to Simba's Pride, and even more actively. He talks to Kiara and controls the weather so he can show up, help, and know how to intervene. But why doesn't he do it when it matters most? First hypothesis. If Mufasa doesn't come, maybe he doesn't have the right. Spirit magic is not absolute. Some laws cannot be broken. Perhaps they can only appear when the living one is ready to hear. It is not the spirit that chooses the moment, but the living one. This is confirmed by the fact that Mufasa appears to Simba not directly, but through a dream, in the mirror water, through Rafiki. It is a complex chain. Simba had to mature on his own and remember who he was. Spirits don't save, they guide. Second hypothesis. Only in the sleep. Mufasa is not when Simba is in the desert. Perhaps because sleep is the only communication, and at that moment, Simba was not asleep. He was in agony. He was losing consciousness, yes, but it wasn't meditation. It wasn't dreaming. Which means the channel was closed. Like a radio receiver that didn't catch the wave, you could say that Mufasa was there, but Simba couldn't hear him. But in the scene at Rafiki's, he's already in balance. He's calm. He's ready to accept. That's the only time the channel opens. Third hypothesis, spirits do not save. Mufasa is not a god. He cannot be saved physically. He is a symbol. His job is to convey the will of the ancestors, to remind the way but not to interfere. This is consistent with the principle of the circle of life. Everyone walks his own path, even if it's hard, even if it's deadly. Mufasa allows Simba to suffer because through that suffering, he becomes king. Early contact would have ruined development. Mufasa is the archetype of the wise ruler. But he is not Jesus or a magician. He does not intervene in reality. His power is in presence, not in action. In the scene in the sky, he says, "You have forgotten me. You have forgotten who you are." He is not blaming, but he is pointing out Simba's responsibility. So the role of the spirit is not to replace the will, but to awaken it. This is especially important in the context of leadership. The true king is not saved. He chooses his own path. There's another theory, the most radical. What if, Mufasa's spirit didn't exist at all? What if it's a hallucination caused by Simba's psyche? Everything he sees in the sky is a reflection of his subconscious. Rafiki is a shaman who provides the stimulus and awakens the trauma. But Mufasa doesn't physically appear and doesn't give new information. Everything he says is what Simba already knows. So the vision is an inner breakthrough, not a magical intervention. And then it becomes clear why Mufasa didn't save him before. He wasn't there. Not in the sense of spirit, but in Simba's willingness to accept that part of himself. Conclusion. Mufasa didn't save Simba because spirits don't save, they guide. Or they don't intervene at all. Their power is in reminder, not in action. Simba had to fall to get up on his own. That's the power of the Lion King. Even if you have a great father behind you, you must step up on your own. And if you're not ready, you won't even hear the voice in the sky. If you enjoyed this video and want to see other analyses of famous Disney characters, please subscribe to my channel and like my video. Have a great day, everyone, and see you soon.